welcome back. Our top focus story. Voting is underway in the elections for the Congress president. It's a contest between Lok Sabha member Shashi Tharoor and party veteran Mallikarjun Kharge as voting in the presidential polls continues through the course of today. Now, the Congress is all set to essentially have its first non-Gandhi chief in nearly 25 years. Mallikarjun Kharge and Shashi Tharoor have faced off in these elections where at least 9,200 Congress delegates across the country are going to be casting their votes today. This is to, of course, elect the party's 37th president since independence. And this is an election that could potentially change the course of the Congress party. Now, while none of the Gandhis are contesting, Mallikarjun Kharge has widely been seen as the Gandhi-approved candidate, even though both Shashi Tharoor and Kharge have reiterated the non-involvement of the Gandhis. But Tharoor has pointed to what he called difference in treatment or a bias or an uneven playing field. Remember, as both Shashi Tharoor and Mallikarjun Kharge have traversed different paths to campaign ahead of these presidential elections, there's been a reluctance in the numbers or support that's come out for Shashi Tharoor, with the narrative that is being drummed up that it is Kharge who's actually the Gandhi-backed or the Gandhi-approved candidate. And, you know, compare that to what we've seen as far as Mallikarjun Kharge is concerned, there's been a swell of support. Now, Mallikarjun Kharge, interestingly, has declared that he believes in collective decision-making and would take the quote-unquote guidance of the Gandhis if he won this election. The elections are being held 3 years after Rahul Gandhi stepped down from the top post after the second straight election defeat for the Congress party in 2019. The 52-year-old, who's currently leading the party's Bharat Jodo Yatra, has firmly refused to return as president despite unrelenting pressure from a section of leaders.
Absolutely no doubt about that. Not just exactly as I predicted when I first called for an election 2 years ago. It has completely energized the party, but it's also galvanized public interest and public attention. Today I called Mr. Kharge and I wished him well. And I said that, you know, whatever has happened, we remain colleagues and friends. He's a respected elder of mine, and I look forward to working with him after this is over. And he said the same to you, he said, and I'm very grateful. We have to approach this in the right spirit. There is no enmity between us. And in that spirit, I think the Congress party should go ahead. I believe that the revival of the Congress has begun.
It's all right. It is a part of our internal election. It is not general election. So whatever we have discussed in the elections or whatever we have said, it is friendly. There is nothing. And together we have to build the party. So I think that everybody will forget after election. No, he telephoned me. He said good luck. I also said same to you.
All right, and my colleague Sanket Upadhyay, who's been covering the details of this story, in fact spoke with Congress's Harish Rawat and as well as Rajiv Shukla. Let's just listen into what they said.
Mr. Rawat, how does it feel to be a part of this electoral process? I'm sure you must have seen this in the past also.
I'm excited. It is fifth time that I am casting the vote in Congress electoral system. और सबसे बढ़िया बात यह है, अच्छी बात यह है कि आज पूरा देश देख रहा है, विशेष तौर पर नई पीढ़ी देख रही है कि कांग्रेस के अंदर एक संविधान है जिससे वो गाइडेड है. उसमें चुनाव की एक पूरी प्रोसेस है जिसमें प्राइमरी से लेकर के शीर्ष लेवल तक चुनाव होता है और देयर इज ए इलेक्शन अथॉरिटी जिसके गाइडलाइंस को जो है सबको मानना पड़ता है.
सर, आज चुनाव हुआ कांग्रेस पार्टी का, ये 22 साल में पहली बार हो रहा है. आपको लगता है कि एक प्रक्रिया शुरू हुई है जो कि अब और लोगों के लिए भी टेम्पलेट?
कांग्रेस में प्रक्रिया रही है और पारदर्शी ढंग से चुनाव होता रहा है. हम लोग चाहते थे गांधी परिवार से कोई आए, लेकिन गांधी परिवार ने स्वयं अपने आप को अलग रखा और किसी उनका कोई भी कार्यकर्ता लड़ सकता. बिल्कुल ओपन प्रोसेस था. जिसको नॉमिनेशन भरना सबने नॉमिनेशन भरा. हम सबको खुली छूट है, जिसको वोट देना चाहे वोट दें. इसलिए जो है ये एकदम पूरी तरह से पारदर्शी ट्रांसपेरेंट तरीके से ये चुनाव हो रहा.
पर राजीव जी, आपको नहीं लगता है कि जो सवाल उठाए जा रहे हैं कि अगर कोई भी बनता है, मुखिया अंत में 10 जनपद आदेश वहीं से आएगा, चाहे कोई भी अध्यक्ष बने?
कुछ नहीं, ये सब गलत बातें ये फैलाई जाती हैं.
Meanwhile, my colleague Ratnadeep Chaudhary spoke with Gaurav Gogoi in Assam. Let's listen in.
Joining us on this broadcast is Deputy Leader of Congress Party in Lok Sabha, Assam's Congress MP Gaurav Gogoi. You have just cast your vote as a delegate from Assam PCC for the all crucial internal elections. Tell us, we did see a lot of excitement among young delegates, particularly when Mr. Kharge was here to campaign and more so when Mr. Tharoor was here. How important this election is in terms of, holding on to the young members, young leaders in the party, because we have seen across the country, starting from Assam, other parts, your leaders, MLAs, MPs jumping ship.
Well, if you see from the day Mallikarjun Kharge filed his nomination and you see the list of proposers, his list of proposers included everyone, including some of the most senior-most leaders of the Congress party, such as former Chief Minister of Haryana, and some very young, dynamic MPs from the Rajya Sabha as well. And in his campaign committee, I have had the privilege of working with him in this campaign committee. So he is the one candidate who has managed to unite everyone in the Congress party effortlessly.
Now, Jairam Ramesh, member of the Rajya Sabha and General Secretary in charge of communications at the Congress Party. Thanks, Mr. Ramesh, very much for being with us. Now, Mallikarjun Kharge has been considered the Gandhi family's unofficial candidate, as it were. That word official has been used several times. He apparently has the support of a large number of senior leaders, while Mr. Tharoor has pitched himself as a candidate of change for the party. But if there is an official candidate, how is this a truly free election process?
There is no official candidate. I think these are all figments of the media imagination. There is no official candidate. There are two candidates, Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge and Dr. Shashi Tharoor. It's a free, fair and transparent election. The Congress Party is the only party which conducts elections for its post of its top leader, for the president of the party. We've done it 5 times before. This is the 6th time that we are doing. And we are the only political party that has set up an independent election authority. We have created a TN Session type figure within the organization to ensure that the elections are free and fair and transparent.
Okay. Mr. Ramesh, Mallikarjun Kharge has said that Sonia Gandhi is a key player in the Congress. The party cannot work without the advice and the guidance of the Gandhis. So again, is there no way of moving beyond the Gandhis, assuming that it's him, assuming it's, or for that matter, if it's Shashi Tharoor, isn't the Congress at this juncture really about needing to take a decision on whether others can be taking decisions other than the Gandhis?
Dr. Tharoor himself is on record as having said that Srimati Sonia Gandhi and Mr. Rahul Gandhi occupy unique positions in the Congress party organizations. And that's the view of each and every congressman and congresswoman. I don't think there's no contradiction between having a free, fair and transparent poll for the Congress presidency and recognizing, acknowledging and accepting the fact that Srimati Sonia Gandhi has a unique position in the party organization, as does Mr. Rahul Gandhi.
So would there therefore be remote control, whoever wins the election?
Absolutely not. This question was asked of Mr. Rahul Gandhi in Karnataka in one of his press interactions near Tumkur, and he answered it the way it should be answered. He said, look, to call it a remote control is an insult to the people whom you are expecting to be remote controlled. And it's also an insult to the people whom you're accusing of remote control. I think these are all absolutely, the bogus terms that are used largely in the media or by the critics of the Congress party. These are two very competent individuals, and it's a choice that 9,000 odd PCC delegates will make, have already exercised their vote, and the whole process is being monitored, and every effort has been made to ensure that it's free, fair, and transparent. Which, as I said, I come back to what I said right at the beginning. We are the only political party that conducts elections for the post of its president, and not only that, we are the only party which has had an independent election authority for ensuring that these polls are seen to be fair and free and transparent.
Just a quick question. Will the new president answer to Sonia Gandhi?
Absolutely not. The new president is the new president.
Okay.
Srimati Sonia Gandhi is the former Congress president, as is Mr. Rahul Gandhi, the former Congress president. And whoever is elected as Congress president, the result will be announced on the 19th of October evening, will be the Congress president. I mean, the Congress president is the Congress president.
All right. Now, Shashi Tharoor has alleged that the contest has not been a level playing one. For example, in accessing delegates, he claims that...
I would like to cut you short, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sorry, because, these allegations, so-called allegations, have been answered. The best person to answer them is our TN station, Mr. Madhusudan Mistry. He's answered them repeatedly. He has said that every effort has been taken to ensure that the polls are free, fair, and transparent. We have gone out of our way to ensure no bias, no partiality. I myself, 3 of my spokespersons have resigned as spokespersons in order to be working for the campaign of one of the candidates. And none of us have said anything publicly.
No, but I'll tell you what Mr. Tharoor has said.
I think the only person to answer this question is
Madhusudan Mistry, right? But let me ask you, nonetheless, this is what Shashi Tharoor has alleged. He says that several PCC chiefs and senior leaders were not available for a meeting with him during visits to respective states.
These allegations are allegations. They have been answered by Mr. Madhusudan Mistry. He has taken every precaution, every care. He has taken, he's to the point of even sending a letter to us 48 hours ago.
So is there an untruth in what Shashi Tharoor has said, that senior leaders have not been meeting him? Is there an untruth in what he has said?
Let me just say this, that he even went to the extent of saying 48 hours ago that those in charge of a state, the AICC in charges, cannot vote in the states for which they are in charge of, but they have to vote in their home state. So, I think Mr. Mistry has been very, very meticulous, and he's been very particular about ensuring that these polls are perceived to be free, fair, and transparent. And I hope that whatever the result on the 19th of October, when it's announced, will be accepted with grace by all of us. And, we move on.
Is there any reason to suggest that the results won't be accepted with grace?
I'm expecting it would be accepted with grace. I'm confident it will be accepted with grace. I'm sure there will be some naysayers in the media and the opposition who will keep raising all these questions and doubts. But we have demonstrated that we are the only political party which has conducted a free, fair, and transparent election for the post of its president, and we have respected the independence and the professionalism of the Central Election Authority, which is more than what can be said of the Prime Minister and the Home Minister, the manner in which they have completely destroyed the independence and professionalism of the Election Commission.
But Mr. Ramesh, one more question. Even if he doesn't win, will Shashi Tharoor, in some quarters of the Congress, be seen as some sort of a hero, someone who actually had the gumption of standing up to the Gandhis, asking for change, campaigning, on the basis of change?
I'll see him as an MP. I'll see him as chairman of the Standing Committee on the Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers, and a very articulate and a very active MP. That's how he will be seen. That's how I will see him, certainly. He's very much in the Congress party. And Mr. Kharge and he, of course, there are differences between the two in terms of their experience, in terms of their political backgrounds. But this is all, the decision will be announced. The decision that the PCC delegates have taken will be announced about 48 hours from now.
All right. All right. Thank you, sir, very much for being with us. Jairam Ramesh saying that this is a free and entirely transparent election and election process. Results expected in a couple of days from now. Will the Congress have a real change in terms of leadership, or will it be more of the same? We'll wait and see. Thanks, sir, very much for being with us. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
And voting has ended in the elections for the Congress president. It's been a contest between Shashi Tharoor and Mallikarjun Kharge for the party's presidential polls. Now, the Congress is all set to have essentially its first non-Gandhi chief in nearly 25 years, as Kharge and Tharoor have faced off in this internal election today, where at least 9,200 Congress delegates across the country have voted for the party's 37th president since independence. Now, this is an election that is widely believed to be the one that could have the potential to change the course of the Congress party. While none of the Gandhis are contesting, Mallikarjun Kharge, remember, has widely been looked at as the Gandhi-approved candidate or the Gandhi-backed candidate. Both Shashi Tharoor and Mallikarjun Kharge have reiterated the non-involvement of the Gandhis, but Shashi Tharoor has also pointed to what he called differential treatment, bias or an uneven playing field. Remember, through the course of the Congress presidential campaign, Mallikarjun Kharge and Shashi Tharoor have seen a very different kind of ground support, with the Congress workers reluctant to attend public meetings that were held by Shashi Tharoor, whereas there have been large crowds of the ones attended by Kharge. All of this lending credence to the narrative that he, in fact, is the Gandhi-backed candidate. Mallikarjun Kharge, in fact, even declared that he believes in collective decision-making and would seek the guidance of the Gandhis. The elections are being held 3 years after Rahul Gandhi stepped down from the top post after the second straight election defeat of the Congress in 2019. The 52-year-old, who's currently leading this Bharat Jodo Yatra, refused to run despite the fact that there was a large section of those within the party who believe that he is best suited for the top job. Let's listen in to a whole host of reactions that have come into this big story through the course of today.
With this election, absolutely no doubt about that. Not just exactly as I predicted when I first called for an election 2 years ago. It has completely energized the party, but it's also galvanized public interest and public attention. Today I called Mr. Kharge and I wished him well. And I said that, whatever has happened, we remain colleagues and friends. He's a respected elder of mine, and I look forward to working with him after this is over. And he said the same to you, he said, and I'm very grateful. We have to approach this in the right spirit. There is no enmity between us. And in that spirit, I think the Congress party should go ahead. I believe that the revival of the Congress has begun.
It's all right. It is a part of our internal election. It is not general election. So whatever we have discussed in the elections or whatever we have said, it is friendly. There is nothing. And together we have to build the party. So I think that everybody will forget after election. No, he telephoned me. He said good luck. I also said same to you.
You voting for the first time in a party election?
For a Congress president election?
Yeah.
Yes, we've had election after a long time, so this is the first time we voted to choose.
And what do you think does this mean for the Congress party, this inner party election?
I think it's a positive development. Other parties should take encouragement from what we've done. An open, transparent elections happened, and we have opened the election to anybody. 2 contestants are contesting. One of them will win. But the more important part is that the Congress party has had a fair, open, transparent election where more than 9,000 elected representatives will actually choose the Congress president. So, ये बड़े शुभ संकेत हैं.
How do you respond to allegations that this is a selection, not an election, by the opposition?
Open election, anybody can vote. It's a secret ballot, तो किसी के लिए भी वोट डाल सकता है. लेकिन जो प्रक्रिया है वो बड़ी निष्पक्ष रही और बड़े ट्रांसपेरेंट तरीके से चुनाव प्रचार भी हुआ है. लोगों ने अपनी बात को रखा है और 2 प्रत्याशी थे और दोनों अच्छे कांग्रेस नेता हैं और 19 तारीख को मतगणना के बाद एक नया अध्यक्ष मिलेगा.
My final question: do you feel that whoever the new president will be able to settle sort of a leadership dispute in Rajasthan?
Whoever becomes the Congress president will have the fullest support of every single Congress worker in this country. This election is not about individuals; it's about the concept of inner party democracy, and we've shown the way. I hope other parties learn from our example.
All right. Thank you.